Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by GTI Energy Executive Director and CEO Bruce Lane. Bruce, thanks for being here today.
Hi Tyler, it's great to be back.
It's nearly all systems go for a new drilling campaign to kick off at your in-situ recovery uranium project in Wyoming. Tell us about the purpose of this upcoming campaign.
Yeah, Tyler, we've got the BLM's approval for 121 up to 121 drill holes. That'll be about 35,000 metres. We hope that we'll get the absolute final approval in August, which sets us up for drilling in September. So we've contracted our drill rigs and our loggers for that, and it sets us on a path to both grow the resource and to upgrade the resource so we can bring more of it into indicated or measured category. And we're targeting trying to get above that 10 million pound mark so we can get that into our scoping study.
So with an updated mineral resource in the pipeline for later this year, followed by a revised scoping study, what's the current financial backing like for GTI Energy? Any notable cornerstone investors on the register?
You're in a good spot at the moment. We just closed commitments for $4.5 million. We've already taken in 2.5 of that, and the remainder of that's to come in after a shareholder approval, which happens on August the 13th. And as part of that placement, we've managed to attract GTI Energy in. So they're a NASDAQ listed company. They'll end up with 9.9% of the company and be able to appoint a director to the board. And what's interesting about that is that they're also a 20% or close to 20% holder of Global Uranium Enrichment, GUE, which is ASX listed. So they hold between them 50% each of the Pine Ridge project, which adjoins us directly to the north. So I believe they've started drilling on that project. It's got a very significant exploration target on it. And so for them to come in and take up to 10% of our company is, we think, a really strong endorsement of what we're doing. So nice to get that endorsement, nice to get the money and to have that strategic cornerstone investor involved.
Trump announced last week he wanted to accelerate the United States' race against countries like China in the AI space. This, of course, would increase energy demand. What is the current sentiment towards nuclear energy in the US, and do you think this latest run of events could further fuel a hunger for yellow cake?
Oh, I think 100% it will. I think in past interviews I've said to you, and I have, I think, repeated quite a lot, that we've been waiting for the US to confirm its commitment to build new nuclear, not just small modular, but large scale. So what we saw preceding those announcements, or the announcements from Trump last week, was Westinghouse's commitment to build 10 new gigascale reactors to get them under construction by 2030. So I think what we're seeing is there's an unequivocal commitment from the highest level in the US to get more firm electrons onto the grid, and a huge part of that is their commitment to nuclear. And so the latest round of orders to support AI has very much got nuclear embedded in it. And so we're seeing sentiment improve markedly in the US around both the companies making big investments in new power generation, but also you can see the uranium stocks at the top end of the market really picking up.
And finally, GTI Energy is planning a rebrand. Tell us about this decision and the current status of the name change.
Yeah, well, look, we've been thinking about changing our name for a while. What we're changing to is American Uranium Limited, which I think is probably obviously very much more in line with our objectives going forward and sets us up for what we think is going to be a very exciting next year or so in particular, and then beyond that. So we've got a shareholder meeting, as I said before, on the 13th of August, and the name change will be considered at that meeting. Post the meeting, we'll change our name immediately. The ASX will take a while to get that changed on the platform, but the ticker will be AMU.
Bruce, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Tyler. Good to be back again. Thanks.
For more ASX news and analysis, subscribe below.